Hey, I'm Charting Man Dan, trader and technical analyst with the Chart Guys. We've got a tornado warning, so I'm going to hunker down and check in on the markets. The NASDAQ has a very clear support level that is now our guide for the entirety of the rest of the week if the bulls are going to be able to play defense. Let's check out the charts. So we ended last week with some solid bear momentum into the close Friday, but no follow through with futures opening last night and the trading action today. If you look at this S&P 500 futures chart, it's a 12-hour bear flag that confirmed with zero follow-through. And that might fake you out, but you have to be watching the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 together, because if one does one thing and the other doesn't then follow along and do the same thing, it's not going to follow through. And so in this instance, the NASDAQ had a similar 12-hour bear flag, but it did not break support. It did not confirm. And so because the bulls successfully defended this support, the S&P 500 broke bear with zero follow through. And so now this is the level. The NASDAQ has bounced off of this level. Again, this is the futures chart. 1, pretty much 2, 3, 4 times. And today the bears had control of the morning. We had a drop, a 5-minute downtrend confirmed. It ended up turning into a rising wedge to shape up a 15-minute lower high. We dropped, and the bulls just kept defending that level, defend it, and then they took over. And so what this tells us is we can make simple statements based around this support. And for QQQ, this support level is 371.53 and 371.51, 61. So we'll just call it 371.50. Let's just call it that. And the simple statement we can make is if this level does not break, it's going to be a bullish week. And it's going to be a weekly bull flag. So the burden is on bears to keep this momentum going. If the bulls are able to, from here, clear 378.10 resistance, the high of Friday, they will further increase their confidence. And this was confidence today. When you bounce off the support, there's no 5-minute trend change. We just went straight up for essentially 0.6% before we saw any consolidation. That's just automated buying off of that support level and potentially, short covering mixed in once they realized that support held yet again. So the buy switch was flipped today. The takeaways for me today are significant weakness in growth names on the morning. They did bounce into the end of the day, but they are still significantly weaker than most everything else. Healthy broader market rotation. The entire time while the NASDAQ was testing the lowest level that we've seen in a number of weeks, XLF and XLV were at the high of the day and up, 1% plus. So there was healthy rotation among our major sectors and the triple bottom of support on the NASDAQ. Those are the 3 takeaways for today. And again, the simple statement, if 371.50 is holding on the NASDAQ, we're going to see weekly bull flags and we're going to see the bears get no follow through. So that is the most important thing in the short term. We do still need to confirm an hourly uptrend because we went straight off that support level and then just bounced for 5 hours. So tomorrow, we've got to see the hourly uptrend confirmed to continue to gain confidence off of that support level. Semiconductors daily inside bar. I am anticipating a lower high compared to 161.17 is the most likely scenario, but there's no sign of that being set just yet. And again, the weekly consolidation here, very healthy. If you want a simple statement, bigger picture, if weekly EMA 12 is support on anything that's been bullish over the last 4 months, the bulls don't have anything to worry about. And so that's the case with all of our major sectors still at this point. So again, it's only one day. It's a nice support hold. Things can shift quickly, but we have our benchmark level. Essentially, every day that I'm checking in on the NASDAQ, is that level holding? Okay, bulls are still in control. Is that level breaking? That's notable. Healthcare, most bullish day in 2 weeks or a week and a half. Weekly, right off EMA 12. Trying to set the higher low. Bulls will have to follow through a bit and create the space for an eventual daily trend change attempt, knowing we must confirm the daily uptrend for the weekly higher low to be set. The financial sector. We've got a weekly bull flag. There are no red flags on this chart whatsoever. It's the strongest of our 3 major sectors right now. And we have already retraced back on this bounce well more than half of the initial drop. This is where the bears needed to confirm the daily downtrend, and they failed to do so. So far, it's all right, bears, you got our attention last week, but you're not keeping it right now. IWM, bear break into a little bounce, bear break, no follow through, possible weekly bull flag under a triple top of resistance. Bulls still have proving to do here, but as long as the financial sector remains strong, IWM will as well. Keeping in mind that growth was really weak today and IWM closed pretty much flat. And again, it's because the financial sector is the largest sector holdings in IWM, and it's definitely helping things. So this is where the weakness was today. ARKK, significant follow through. We dropped another 2% plus from a weak day on Friday. So we're not looking at a weekly bull flag on ARKK, but we're trying to hold weekly EMA 12. Hourly trends must confirm. Pretty much everything bottomed this morning, and we bounced all afternoon, and into tomorrow there is still hourly uptrends that have to happen. So if we open higher tomorrow, great, but bears are going to be scouting short, looking for the hourly consolidation, knowing the trend change must confirm. If we open lower tomorrow, have to hold the low of the day and break the bounce high for the trend change to confirm. And so it wasn't just ARKK. The biotech sector is falling apart recently. Look at that. Easily the weakest lead bear sector. Lowest level that we've seen in months. Look at the long term on XBI. We came close to shifting things, but we have been setting monthly lower highs here since the all-time high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, now 7 monthly lower highs. We're looking back at support of 72.44, and again, the bears have absolute complete control. You will rarely see the biotech sector that weak, while XLV is plus 1%, because they are related a bit. But LABD is breaking out up a solid 50% or so from the lows. So again, biotech sector, lead bear sector, lots of space for a daily lower high to be the result of the next bounce. Other places we saw weakness, crypto stocks. They broke the low of weekly consolidation up to this point, and they dumped really hard. And we dropped down 9-10% on Riot under support. And then we saw decent bounces as well, and that's due to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a potential falling wedge on the 12-hour time frame. I'll talk about it in a live stream tomorrow. But if the characteristics of a 12-hour falling wedge are you break support into V-shaped bounces. And so that happened again today, and the NASDAQ was bouncing as well, so that definitely helped these bounces. So again, the volatility in both directions is just beautiful. 10% drop into a 7% bounce, but just looking for an hourly lower high. The end of today happened, and it happens up fairly often, where we're looking for the most likely scenario. Generally, it's on the hourly chart, and we just run out of time. And it's almost like the bulls ran out the clock by just keeping their control until the bell rang. Because if it were, if you just extend and say, hey, we got 3 extra hours of trading today, I'm looking to bearish on a ton of names right now, just for the hourly lower high. And I made an attempt on Tesla into the end of the day today, and just stopped out break even when we failed to roll over, because we just kept seeing bull break, consolidation, bull break, consolidation, bull break. It's just a rising wedge type of action. But again, the clock ran out and bulls kept that control. So Tesla has a lot of space for an hourly high or low. We must confirm the hourly uptrend. And this is the bulls, again, trying to hold weekly EMA 12 and trying to hold weekly support. If we get bounce follow through for the week, then we have to talk about a weekly head and shoulders potentially being on the table. But first things first, can bulls confirm the hourly uptrend? So just be aware that time of the day is a factor with trading. And again, you get to a point where if you're in the final hour and the hourly most likely scenario hasn't started shaping up yet, very often it's not going to shape up, at least that day. PLTR earnings reaction, big dump, big bounce. So bulls bought that dip, a quick minus 13% into plus 18%. In the end, uneventful in the sense that we're trading within the day's range. The bulls are trying for the higher low. We will have to be cautious of the head and shoulders. We'll see what tomorrow does in response to these earnings. If the bulls break 1839 tomorrow, the daily higher low is set at 1701. And then it's just a question of, do we set a daily lower high and shape up that potential head and shoulders? But still clearly an uptrend at this point. AI bears have followed through, but I really like the clarity on the weekly for AI. I'm viewing this as an equilibrium. Low, high of the breakout, higher low, lower high, and anything above 3157 is a weekly higher low. The bulls are going to try and hold the EMA 12. How many names have we looked at now in the last 10 minutes that are holding the initial test of weekly EMA 12? The answer is probably 4. So what we would have to see here is AI confirm an hourly uptrend. Still have to see that happen tomorrow. Nice bounce, but still an hourly downtrend. We must see the higher low, higher high. Then we must see a big enough daily bounce to try and create the daily uptrend if we're going to set a weekly higher low and remain within a tightening range. Ideally, we tighten up for all of August here on AI and then see a break of this equilibrium into, well, it'll probably be right into earnings, of course. That's how it so often works out. But when not in a position and something that has had a lot of volatility that is tightening up, you want it to get as tight as possible to then look to play that break. Chinese names, key support tests. We're on the verge of confirming daily downtrends. BABA is a potential head and shoulders. If we break 94.56, daily downtrend is confirmed. KWEB, ETF. Again, it's on the table. The daily lower highs are set. Can we keep the higher lows going? It happened back here as well. Let's not forget that. Daily lower highs set. Uh-oh. Just holding on and save it. BABA, back here. Daily lower highs set. Are we going to confirm the downtrend? Nope. Bulls save it. So that's possible, but it's pretty important that these Chinese names see some green tomorrow. If we do roll over and lose the daily uptrend, I will exit my swing positions in this sector and then just take a step back and reassess. NIO is still a daily uptrend. XPEV technically has confirmed a daily bear flag, but it is still weekly inside bar by a couple pennies. So not rolling over into significant weakness just yet on these Chinese names, but we got to be cautious because it's fairly close to happening. The dollar, trying to set a daily higher low off EMA 12. Today was just an inside bar. We've got a tightening 4-hour range. If this tightening 4-hour range breaks bull, the daily higher low is set. If it breaks bear, it is not set. And bears are hoping, I should say, dollar bears, stock, commodity, crypto bulls are all hoping that the dollar rejects from EMA 12 into weekly consolidation. Because the metals need help. They keep fading here. Gold is a daily inside bar trying to bounce, but silver dropped down to a lower low. If silver is leading the way down, that's showing us a risk-off mindset in metals. Metals want to see silver leading for confidence. I'm so confident in metal that I'm going to throw my money in the more volatile name that has higher risk and higher reward. So if you look back at the previous metal bull markets, compare gold versus silver, XAU USD divided by XAG USD. This is showing us gold is gaining against silver all during this weekly consolidation. And if you go back, when were the biggest bull markets? I don't even need to look at the chart, but these big drops showing silver significantly gaining against gold are when the metals bulls are their most confident. And the miners, GDX today, double bottom on the daily to the penny, trying to negate a bear flag, have to break 29.81 if that bear flag is going to be officially negated. I still like the setup for the monthly cup and handle on gold, but the only way that that's going to play out, in my opinion, without some kind of news catalyst, is if the dollar sets the weekly lower high and keeps dropping down to lower lows. Because if we set a 4-month higher low on the dollar, we are not likely to see the metal bulls do much. Oil still strong. If we were to start daily consolidation tomorrow, it would be a daily bull flag confirming with 0 follow through, which would have us then scout a rising wedge. I'm not scouting a rising wedge unless we have red tomorrow. If we have red tomorrow, then I'm watching this. It's more of a channel, but anytime you have a flag that confirms with no follow through, pay attention to the other direction. And I'm not calling this no follow through yet because, again, we have to break the low of the last 2 days, which is a double bottom to the penny. We have to break that base of support if I'm going to say that's a bull flag with no follow through, because we could just be pausing for a moment sideways and then see continuation tomorrow. Natural gas, big bounce. So bear break of weekly support with no follow through. The bull volume is notable. 279 key resistance. And we have space for a daily higher low to try and form. If we fail to break 279, we're going to scout a daily inverse head and shoulders. But we do have uptrends on the 4-hour and hourly time frames, keeping full short-term bull control for now. So in summary, growth names weaker. Again, risk off. Risk off in metals, risk off in the market with the names that we're seeing weakness yesterday and today. But the NASDAQ has a base of support that is the support level for the week. The financial sector is a lead bull sector with regional banks testing the highs. XLF is a potential weekly bull flag. I like the AI weekly equilibrium. We'll be keeping an eye on that for the next couple of weeks. Burden's on bears again. So Burden was on bulls after Friday, after the week close. But now that we have a triple bottom on the NASDAQ, again, just keep it as simple as possible. If the bears do not break the triple bottom on the NASDAQ, we're going higher. Doesn't have to be tomorrow, but probably has to be this week. CPI on Thursday. All right. Do good things. Appreciate you tuning in. Going to post a bunch of bands here. We had a music festival in town this weekend. Probably saw 12, 15 shows and some good music. Lots of fun, different venues. Nice and prompt, starting on time. Hour-long sets. Go to the next venue. My kind of shows.